And get started. All right, good morning. It is Tuesday. Always excited about Tuesdays, just because it's Tuesday, every single day is a great day and Tuesdays are fun. Especially, I don't know, did anybody on here earn GOAT? It's okay if you didn't, not a big deal if you didn't. Okay. I'm anxious to see like how that turns out today, as far as whatever, how everything's going with that sort of thing. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of difference just because it's going to be based on people that got customers last week. So, because it runs pay period to pay period, of course. So of course we're going to start our day off talking about self-development, just because it's only the 5 of us on here really quick. Are you guys reading anything right now that you recommend? Are you listening to anything right now that you are like learning a ton from? Anything that you want to share? Drop it in chat or unmute yourself. By all means, unmute yourself. Because Carrie.
I haven't, but I'm waiting on that
Instagram
book to come in because that's really what I'm trying to finish figuring out. I think I've got a little bit better grip on it than I did in the past, and my numbers have, like my impressions and my numbers, have gone from like single digits to triple digits.
Yes.
So it was like almost up to 4 digits. I was like, whoa, wow, I've been doing it wrong for how long?
Yeah, or not doing it at all if you're like me.
Right
there, but not
it was like, why am I doing this? But now I can see where if you do it right, it has way more potential than like Facebook does.
Yes,
so.
I absolutely think so. Carrie, you have anything?
I read that book that they suggested on one of those with Lisa Fuller and called Exactly What to Say, the Magic Words. For, I think it says influence and impact. And this stuff it was an easy read, quick read, but it had the most amazing ideas or ways to talk in chat. So when you're talking to a potential, kind of how to move them through the funnel.
Okay.
So I thought it was really, really good. And I have used it a few times, and they have responded every time I used these. It's just the beginning. Let me just give you an example because it was really cool. So like one of the examples is, I'm guessing you haven't got around to looking over the video yet. So it kind of gives them this, oh no, I haven't. And I use that because I sent my link to somebody or a video. I can't remember what I sent, but I used those words and they did respond immediately. And that's when I was like, hey, it's okay. Like, do you have time to chat later today for 10 minutes? And then they would say yes or no, or we would set up a time. And like, I think the one girl I used Heather because she was trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to say, like, these really did help me move the message along, like instead of kind of being stuck, which was a lot of things that I've struggled with over the years, is getting stuck on what to say next. Yeah. Like when somebody gave you that objection, I was like, oh, great. Well, I'll have to go back to her later in a month, where this one kind of gives you those words to kind of move through the chat, basically. Okay. So it's a really great book. It's a super easy read, and you can just insert your own business in it. So,
and it's called Exactly What to Say is what it's called?
Exactly What to Say. Hold on, let me get back to the main thing and I can tell you. Exactly What to Say, the magic words for influence and impact.
Why I'm writing this down on a sticky note, I can't even tell you right now. So, because I'm going to go straight into Amazon and order it. That's why.
Yeah, and I did mine on the iBooks right in my phone because Amazon, when I went to Amazon to get it, because I like paperback better because you can highlight and everything. But it was like going to take like 3 weeks to get it. And I was like, heck no, I want to read it now. And so I just put it into my iBooks. So just so you know, you can do that too. And it was really super cheap, like $8 or something.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Love that. So, and that was one of the ones I must have missed. I need to look back at my notes for that week because they had listed a few. I know I got the Purple Cow, but I haven't even started it yet because I'm literally
that one.
Yeah, and this one did take a while.
Okay.
So yeah. But anyways, because I'm literally reading 2 books right now on Instagram, believe it or not, like I'm reading 2 at the same time, and I'm like halfway through both of them. So just to kind of get some more knowledge on it, you know, to kind of share. So and you guys definitely, anytime you have experienced something that you've noticed is working, or you know, something that you're trying, you're implementing, you're experimenting with it, share it, because this is how we learn. Like, I am so much about collaboration, and I'll tell you things that I've learned and things that I'm going to try. And then I'll be able to tell you if it worked or not, you know, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos with other leaders and things like that to kind of see what they're doing. And every one of them, it's an experiment, you know, and you have to do your own analytics. And just because it's working for them doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work the same for you, because your audience is different than theirs. So, but if you are trying something, like, please, by all means, share it. You know, secrets don't make friends. Like, I'm huge on that. Like, if I learn something new, like, I am going to share it with everybody, because we're all trying to do the same thing as far as grow and develop. So, so self-development is always key. You know, for everything that we do. I already shared something that I learned this morning on my, you know, with my devotion today. I already shared that on my wall, because that's always going to be step 1 is your morning posts on Facebook. You know, you're trying to inspire first thing in the morning. Everybody is starting their day. So everyone is needing some kind of good word to start their day off with, you know. And so I'm huge on my first post in the morning being something that's going to inspire people and get people awake and get people going, oh, I like her. Like, oh, you know, I feel like they get to know me and who I am. And I am very much an introvert. So there's not a lot of people that really know who I am, because I am very quiet and very reserved, and I don't tell people my stuff, you know, and, but like, people don't see that side of me a lot of times. So I think it's important to throw that out there. So 3 steps in your stories. Has everybody done their 3 steps in their stories this morning? If not, let's do that really quick. Let's just take a couple of minutes and let's do our 3 steps in our stories. Hopefully you don't hear my lawn man, because he's out there. I'm going to mute for a minute just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully you've done your 3 steps in your stories by now. Let's go ahead and move on to birthdays, and let's do some stuff with some birthdays. If it's a Thriver, of course, I usually write that on their wall. And actually I save those to last. I start with my non-Thrivers, and then I don't do anything with my Thrivers until later. So just because I kind of prioritize how I'm doing that. So let's start with our non-Thrivers. Everybody knows how to find that, I think. Everybody in here in the May Mayhem? Is everybody in here? No. Okay, it's okay, Candace. Okay. So that means y'all can ask Candace to speak on y'all's stuff and y'all get a point, and she don't. So
is Lindsay sending the document out to keep track, or is that on her page?
On Sunday, because we only turn it in once on Sunday. We don't turn it in daily. So on Sunday, if you've already got like who your leader is, in my group, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're posting all of our point pictures in our group so that whoever the leader is can go in to the eye up top and then gather all of them at one time and then turn in the points all together. Because it doesn't matter. You can't say, okay, Theresa got 3 points or so-and-so. It doesn't matter. You're getting an accumulative total of X amount of points, and here's all the photos. She's going to have a spot in there for photos for your lives events, that kind of thing, and a spot for photos with your customers. So you'll just snapshot. I'm having everybody put snapshots in there. We don't even know who our leader is, honestly. We haven't even said that yet. But
so on the customers, like I got one last night. So do I take a snapshot of the order, or do I take a snapshot of like even just you posting on my?
She's going to ask you for the name, I know, and then I snapshotted a picture of the order simply because it doesn't have the name. Because I don't want, like, I didn't want to post that in my group with their name and information all over it. So I just put, I'm just doing a snapshot of the order, and then she's just going to ask you for the name. So. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Yep.
I had a question about that as well.
Yeah.
I think I probably know the answer to this, but so I work, my account and really Clint's account.
Yes.
Do I can only use from my, okay.
Yep. I got the
That's
same
what
problem with Joe.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to mute for a second because the guy's at my door blowing the front door porch. So finish doing your birthdays right quick. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. I have us working a lot in Facebook today. I know we're building Instagram quite a bit. If you were not on yesterday, one of the things that we talked about was writing down a goal for how many followers new followers you want to have for the week. So if you didn't do that, make sure that you are doing that so that you have some sort of goal in mind. For me, if I don't have a goal, then it's not going to keep myself accountable for what I'm trying to achieve. Okay. So that's definitely something you want to look at doing. I will say that yesterday, one of the things we talked about was kind of creating an area in your notes section on your phone for hashtags specifically when you're trying to do certain things. I think that's going to be a huge thing. And what I did yesterday is I started noticing as I was posting, I am extracting the ones that I noticed did work a lot. And so that's something that I've kind of started doing inside of my own phone, is kind of categorizing different things that I post about, maybe, like my 5 things, and then I'm adding hashtags that work. Because I think it's super hard to get all 25 or all 30 all at one time and figure out the ones that are working. And I also think they're going to change, so that's just something that you want to do as you're kind of developing your hashtag knowledge and the things that are working inside of there. And I heard this morning, so I wanted to share it with you, and I am going to experiment with it this week. And it was talking about following the people that have private accounts. So I think I'm going to do that. And well, you always get that notification because they have to accept you anyways, as a follower. But I have noticed that some of the things that I follow personally, especially the Christian things, a lot of those people have private accounts. So I'm leaving out a lot of my people if I don't try to follow those people. So I'm going to kind of experiment with it and see if it makes a difference, or, as far as how that part of it goes. So I just wanted to share what I'm doing. I don't know if you guys have had any kind of experimentation with following people that have private accounts versus public accounts, that sort of thing. I know for me personally, I was not following a ton that had private, just because I felt like I didn't even know who they were, kind of thing. But I think because we're like-minded and we already are following the same thing, then maybe I do kind of know who they are, so to speak. So I'm going to try that and see how that goes. And the other thing that I heard, I know it kind of, blew everybody away the other day when I said something about I'm going to try to follow 50 people a day. But that's how you're going to get that massive growth in your network. If you're not following a ton, then you're going to be, I am never like let me just kind of do it. Like, I am just like an all in kind of person. So like, I am just going for it, and so, so that's what I'm doing personally. And of course, interacting, when you're going to your scroll with your stories, we talk about this every day, but when you're going to your scroll with your stories, make sure that you're, doing some sort of commenting and reaction on those stories. I try to do that a couple of times a day because I want those people seeing my stuff. And remember that if they're linked, and this is a tidbit that I heard this morning that I didn't know, and I think everybody probably has theirs unlinked by now, but the important thing is that you teach this, okay, to the people that you're signing up and to your teams. If they have it linked and you share it from Instagram to Facebook, unless you are friends on both, they will not see it. I didn't realize that you're only linking to the people that you're friends with in both anyways. So that's an important thing, because if you're linking, then you're missing half of your people, because they're only the people that you're friends with on both are going to be the ones that see it. So that was kind of an interesting thing I learned this morning. I did not know that. So that's something you definitely want to teach as far as people that are joining you. So let's go inside of Facebook. Today's a big day. Because it's commissions day. So our business post today is definitely going to be something about some sort of benefit that we are getting from Thrive from a business point of view. Whether you are benefiting personally or not, it's something that you can share from other people, maybe, borrow someone else's success as far as, did you know I could earn, the second highest payment in my family, which is a car? Did you know I could earn, use the did you know part, as far as that part of it goes. But today is, our Inform, for our Inspire, Inform, and Entertain, our Inform wants to be something that is going to be business related. It's going to be opportunity related, okay? And it's not, going to say I'm looking for 2 people, I have 2 spots, and, that sort of thing. It's going to be more of a, this is why you should join me. This is why, the opportunity is massive, more of a, this is why did you join? It's one of those things. So definitely be thinking about your post inside of that today. If you, inspire, inform, entertain. So, so be thinking about that for your midday post. Okay. Midday, 1 o'clock, everybody's, that's when commissions hit for people. So that's just something that you want to see, but also people are on their lunch break around that time. So that's a good time to post something as far as the business plug side of things. Another thing that I wanted to say real quick before we go into the most recent is going live. I'm a little bit concerned right now, to be honest, with Lindsay's challenge, because I feel like everybody's news feeds are going to be slap full of live videos, and it's going to be too much. Like, anybody else freaked out about that? Okay. Because I haven't done all this work to let it go in the trash. So I am going to be super careful with the things that I put out there, and that my team asked me, like, do you suggest just doing that once a day? Do you suggest, yes, I would not, I'll be the interviewed person on somebody else's wall, but I don't want all that stuff on my wall all day long. I don't want 75 different videos. I don't want, so if you do not have your Facebook locked down so that you have to approve things, make sure you make it a point to do that today. Because all of a sudden, all this work you've done, other people can, kind of mess that up for you. So be mindful when you're thinking about that, as far as when you're interviewing people and what you're doing, that kind of thing. Because that's going to kind of be a big deal during this month. I think this week is going to be awful as far as that part goes. I think it's wonderful that everybody's doing it. I don't want to say that wrong, but I definitely think we should spread it out. And because it's new, I think everybody's trying to get a zillion points. I think next week it'll die down. The week after that, it'll die down some more. And then the final week, we'll see how that goes. But just kind of be weird, just be mindful there. Okay, so let's go into our most recent on Facebook. I never do the scroll on Facebook anymore unless I'm trying to go in and do some love for my thrivers. Otherwise, I am going to the 3 bars at the bottom, and I am going into most recent. If you go to most recent often, then it should be up top for you. If you don't, then you're going to have to find it towards the bottom where it says see more. I think everybody on here. Alyssa, are you, I never get to see your face, girlfriend, but I know you're on a challenge team with Amanda. How are things going there? She might not be able to hear me.
It's going really good. I got 1 point already for yesterday.
Okay.
And yeah, and I have 2 customers that are ready to order, but haven't actually went in and done it. So it's like trying to pull teeth on that. But I have 2 new customers that are on the verge of ordering, and I had a promoter order an upgrade package yesterday that I called in reports.
Go girl, that's awesome. Wonderful. Okay, good. That's excellent. All right, so we are inside of most recent, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in and we're gonna go ahead and love and put some conscious comments inside of there for a few minutes. And if you see a ton of ads, because a lot of times I hide those. I go to the 3 dots up top and you can hide the ads. And if you'll notice, if you are in groups, a lot of times some of the stuff you're going to be seeing is your group posts if you're active. And if you haven't been active in the groups that you're in, this is going to be a reminder for you that you should be inside of those groups working too. Okay, because or it's going to be a reminder that you should leave those groups because you're not doing, maybe they're not working for you as far as your activity in there. Maybe you're doing the work and things aren't happening, so you might want to do something there.
T, you'd be so proud of me. In one of my groups, I got one of the 10 most active people in the group.
You go, girl. That's awesome. That's
good. They posted that, and I was like, I didn't know they did that.
She's what do you call that? It's like like in Lavelle when you're the top, whatever.
Yeah.
With a little star.
I was like, I read it and I was like, why did I get tagged in this group? And I pulled it up and it says, these are the most top 10 active ladies in our group. Thank you, and we appreciate you, or something like that. It was funny.
That's awesome. That's how you know you're doing your work.
it's been hard for me because I am one of those who definitely, I see squirrels. So like I have to write it down to do it and check it off. Like I've had to make my list and check.
Yes.
It's like I try to do like group work Tuesdays and Thursdays and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do that. I forget. I'm just a squirrel. So I'm just one of those people that have to write it down.
Yeah. Well, and I think as long as you're creating content, even, you know, just once a week, adding some value in there, I think that's a smart thing is to do it, you know, write down to do it once or twice a week, because otherwise it's not going to be on your list of things, you know, that you should be doing. So
it's definitely something that can be forgotten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it'd be easy to forget to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we always say it.
Yeah.
This business is easy to do, but it's also easy to forget to do.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely is. All right. So once you have completed interacting there, then I'm going to have you go ahead and go up top, and I'm going to have you interact in some stories. Take a look at your own story and see what's left in your story. I do that every day just because it reminds me of how many times what I did yesterday. I'm just a huge self-check person. Look to see what you did yesterday. And then look to see how many views you got on the things that you did yesterday. Maybe you have, can't see what that says. Maybe you only had a chance to do one post yesterday, or maybe you had a chance to do 4, you know. And then as you're there, make sure you're scrolling all the way to the left and then start your commenting there. This is definitely not the time that I don't spend any time in my morning loving on people. Like I woke up first thing this morning and I noticed Carrie had got a customer. So I went in and posted that, her congratulations. But otherwise I don't spend my time in the mornings during my power hour. I don't spend it loving on my people. I spend it trying to grow my business. And then later on in the day, I spend it loving on my people. All right, entertainment posts. I'm just going to be moving right along because you guys know by now your checklist should be doing your interacting on stories on Instagram and on Facebook, interacting in posts on Instagram and Facebook, and you're always going to want to interact before you do your post, okay? Entertainment post for today. Today is Cinco de Mayo. So I fully plan on dressing Bowen up like a Mexican man today. I have a maraca and everything. So my plan is to do something with that. So I don't know, maybe you have a dog or maybe you have something. That's going to try to be my entertainment post today. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how much he cooperates. I don't know. He does like to dance. So I might be able to just get a maraca and a sombrero or something. But today's Cinco de Mayo, so that's something that a lot of people are going to be on. They're going to be super festive with. So maybe get creative with something with Cinco de Mayo today. So that's definitely something. Another thing is going live. Susie is not on right now, but we did that challenge where you go live for 10 days inside of your Facebook and watch how many views you get and how it grows, that sort of thing. And with the fact that we're doing all of these interviews and everything right now, and remember that it does count, her rules are totally different, but it does count if you go live by yourself and just do your Thrive experience. Or maybe you're talking about a product, maybe you're talking about why you drink Blast, or maybe you're talking about Restore, or, you know, whatever it is you're doing. But that counts too. But I want to say that it's very important to also go live and not talk about Thrive, okay? It's super, super important to do that because we're doing all this work so that your page isn't an infomercial. So I think, yes, that's on my list, Carrie. So I think it's super important to also go live and talk about you, talk about, you know, whatever it is, you know, that you think people can relate to. Yes, I think, and definitely, I asked Denise to ask her lady yesterday about how many times was too many in Instagram stories and the going live in the Instagram stories. I have not personally done that yet. And I don't know how many, because there was one girl I noticed, like she went live and like, I don't know how long she talked, but I swear she had 50 little bubbles up top. And I'm just like, I am not listening to all of that. You know what I mean? So I don't know how long is too long. And I'm not sure how long the little things are. Do you know how long the things are, Carrie?
You know, I'm not super sure, but I know they're like, they're not very long at all. So I would definitely recommend keep it to 5 minutes. Like,
Okay.
you know, like as short as you can, 3 to 5 minutes. So like just an idea I had today was, I might just do the mask, like just, so a really short video of how you put it on and it dries, and even if you don't wait till the whole thing dries, just kind of show them, you know, the light gray is the dry, the dark gray is still drying. When it's fully dry, I'm going to take it off. And I will probably just announce I'm not going to let y'all, you know, have y'all watch me wash my face, you know, but I wanted to give you how quick and simple it was. And literally it should show like only a couple minutes. So I recommend doing something short and sweet, because I know for some reason, I see stuff all the time.
Yes.
She goes live about everything and anything, like anxiety and all that stuff, and some of her stuff is, like you said, 50 bubbles, and I'm like you, I see the 50 bubbles and be like, oh heck no, I ain't watching that.
Yeah. So
I say the shorter the better in Instagram live, in Instagram stories. That's how I feel. Just from my own experience, when I go to somebody else's stories and I see those 50 bubbles, there's no way I'm watching all that.
Right. I agree too.
I'm not doing a 20-minute live.
And and I noticed that you get that notification when anybody that you follow is going live in their story. So that's a big deal, because it's not, you know, you don't have to have them as one of your top people or whatever for you to get the notification that they're going live. So I get notifications all the time that somebody's going live. So I think that's a great point. One thing I want to say, on my list of things to do, because it's the second time that I've heard it and I've written it down and I haven't done it yet, but I want you to write down Tailwind. Tailwind is an app, and it basically tells you what time to do your post on Instagram that's going to get you the most views, the most, you know, the most out of your post, so to speak.
I think you're gonna pay for that one.
You might have to. I don't know. It might be very minimal. I'm not sure. I think the person that said it this morning said it was free, but I'm not sure. Let me see if I did that one. Because I am really bad about when I hear something that somebody has mentioned, like I'll go straight in and I'll download it, and then it sits in my phone, and then I don't know to use it. So I am writing it down that, like, okay, I'm going to do that. Do I even have it? Nope, I just wrote it down. I don't even have it. So so that's something that I'm going to look into today, is Tailwind. Because again, if I'm doing all this work to do this, then I want to make sure I'm getting the most out of the posts that I'm doing. And one thing I want to say about Instagram is, and I was telling Joe this last night, is you can write longer things on Instagram. You know, people like the content. It's a little bit more of a blogger style than it is on, you know, Facebook, where they like short and sweet, that sort of thing. I have read some brilliant posts from people in the past few days that I've snapshotted that I'm like, oh my God, that is, because I follow a lot of network marketers and other businesses. Okay, I thought it was free, because whoever it was that said it this morning on the video said it was a free one. So, but I haven't done it yet. And I think it must link somehow, and then it tells you.
I think it was Typorama.
Yes, Typorama. And I got that one because that one makes things to the size. And let's talk about that for a second on Typorama. You know, have you noticed how in stories, like it'll have a chop on the top and a chop on the bottom if you try to use normal pictures? There's a way to fix that. There are apps out there that will make it to the size of the story, and that's how it looks like you kind of know what you're doing, versus throwing pictures on there that you're not really sure, you know, blah blah blah. So, and if you take them long ways, they will be right. Like if you take them, then they'll be right. And that's a free way to do it. But there's also apps out there that kind of help you create that. So the sizes matter, you know, as far as that part of it goes. But, but Tailwind is one that I'm going to look into as far as, I literally have that on my list of things to do today to figure that out, and see like when my post should be posted on there to kind of get the most out of the posts that I'm doing on there. So, so I just wanted to share that with you, that I'm going to be doing that. And to kind of see how that goes. But one of the posts, I'm going to share this with you because I'm going to do this. And we all have different friends and followers, so I'm just going to share it with you. But it was a great post. It was a business post from this girl, and it was about, you know, not listening to what other people say. And I read it to Joe last night, and it was like, there are two people that you should listen to. One is yourself and the other one is God. And it was like, and it named things, and you don't have to use the name of the people that have had objections, but it's like, don't listen to Sally down the street. Don't listen to your neighbor that all of a sudden popped up on Facebook and has every opinion in the world of what you're doing. And don't listen to Uncle Mark, who's negative about absolutely everything you do. But it named the names, and it literally just gave me chills when I wrote it, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally plugged in the names of those people in my life, like just like that. It was the most relatable post that I have read. So be friends with other network marketers, follow other network marketers, because gosh, you can use that content that they have. I snapshotted it because I was like, that is like probably the best post I've seen in a long time, because it relates to so many people, because everybody relates like that, you know, and that's why they choose not to do things, is because they have those negative Nancy's in their life that affect them fully. So, but I was like, man, it's so true that it's those 3 to 5 people that you hang around that have that influence on you, and you gotta fix that. So, so anyways, I wanted to share that with you, because I think I'm going to maybe try to do that business, that kind of post today with my business post on there. And when you're only posting a couple of times, 1 to 2 times a day on Instagram, it makes a big deal what you post. So your content, you know, it's got to be good quality content. And I know, what's your girl, Krista Denmark, she's a brilliant writer. Man, she could kill it. She is a brilliant writer. Once her confidence gets up there, she's going to like do really, really well. But, and I mean, a lot of you guys are brilliant as far as your content goes, but I struggle with that. So I have to go in my notes section. I have to write, I have to piece things together from what I see other people do, and that sort of thing. So until we get confidence with what we're doing with that, that's just kind of what we do. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, I think that's all I have for today. Does anybody have anything else? Another thing I am investigating, I'm going to tell you, is loops. Has anybody ever seen or heard of loops on Instagram?
I've done loops.
And
are
you a ghost? Did you do a ghost post? Did you do ghost post, or what'd you do?
No, I didn't do the ghost.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, I have mixed feelings about it, because I did it, but now they like hound me to do these loops.
Okay.
And the thing about the loops is when they start it, you have to be on there to do the loop. Like if it starts at noon, you must be on, you have from noon to like, let's say 3, like a time frame, and you have to get on and do the loop, and you have to go all the way through the loop before you can get off. And it can take like an hour to do. And I got some followers, but what I've noticed is they unfollow you almost as quick as they follow you.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that, because they were like, oh, build true followers, and then like they followed you and then unfollowed you. And I was like, oh no, that's not the way they presented it. So I did 2 just to see what would happen. And I'm not saying I didn't gain followers, I did, but I would say the majority of them dropped off within 3 months.
Okay.
And they were all network marketers of some sort.
Okay. Because there's a few that are high up in our company that do loops. And then, so I was kind of investigating what it was. Let me say it like this. They participate in loops, but they don't physically do the loop. Right. They do what they call a ghost host, and somebody does it for them. So like, it's one of those, that's, you know, how they do it. If you go in and you look at, and you can research it, Jessica, if you look up ghost host, then you'll see what it is. Like today, there's a girl that I've been following, and she happens like, cause I follow like Tennessee area and Pigeon Forge area, Gatlinburg, all that stuff, because I have that like interest. And so there's a girl up there though, that she has like, I don't know, 317,000 followers. And I'm like, what the heck does this chick do? You know, sure enough, today she posted a loop. And what they do is they offer a prize. It's her and 24 other people, because there's always 25 in the loop. And they offer a prize, and they split the prize, you know, buying the prize. Like they're doing like a Peloton and a Daggum and Louis Vuitton purse. That's divided by 25 people paying for it. Okay. And what you have to do to enter is you have to go in and follow all 25 people, and then you're entered to win this thing. So that's how they gain followers. And so it's organic, but it's not organic. Let me say it like that. It's not based on their content. It's based on them trying to win a prize. Okay. So that's one type of loop. And I'm pretty sure this chick is like a boutique girl. So I do have a common interest with her because I like boutiques, but, so I think there's good ways to do it and not good ways to do it. But I will tell you that I see her stuff and I like crazy, because she has so many flipping people that follow her. And if you only let certain people in your loop, and let's say, you know, all these chicks probably have at least 100,000 followers a piece. Well, imagine how many people are seeing that stuff. And so they're going to gain a zillion followers, and it probably cost them $100 each. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not interested in that, but I was looking at the way, you know, the way that works as far as, you know, I'm doing some research on it.
Like when you join, I think it'll give, it's been a long time, Theresa, so bear with me, yeah. But I think when you join the loop, it does, and I just didn't really understand the ghosting, but it asked me if I wanted to be the ghosting, and I was like, I have not researched that, and I have no idea, so I'll just join the loop and do it.
Yeah.
So I think you have a choice, like when you do decide to do the loop, in which I get invitations to loops all the time, so I could try it just to see what happens.
Yeah.
And do the ghost.
Yeah. Well, because the ghost doesn't mess with your page. So in other words, they're seeing your profile, but you're not having to make the post on your page.
Okay.
So, and I don't know how that works. Like I sent messages out this morning asking about, like I have a few questions about being a ghost host, because I don't want in any way, shape or form that to show up on my page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've worked too hard on my content, so I don't want to undo all that work with posting something on there, you know. And
will you let me know what you find out?
Yes. I'll let you know like what, cause I've done it to, like I've done two. And apparently it's a big thing, because all the ones that I went and looked up, ghost host spots are filled May and June. Ghost host spots are filled such and such. So apparently there's a crap ton of people that use it. And the ones that I researched were moms and, you know, different people that had common interests with me. But you could research anything. Like Rochelle could research ghost hosts with gardening. She could research, and then what you're gaining is all the people that like gardening too. You see, so it would be useful if you got all those people following you, or even a portion of those people following you. So that's something that I'm looking into. And then another thing I'm going to start researching, this person talked about this morning, was Instagram TV. And I think that had to do with going live. So I wrote that down on my list. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get with that, but if I don't learn new things, then I can't grow. So those are some things that I'm looking into. Instagram TV is on my list, but my main things today. And then another hashtag app that I found out today was called Stat Story, STAT Story, STORY. That's another one I wrote down to research today. I like to try to use the things that successful people are using. So obviously it works if they're successful. So those are the things that I wrote down for today as far as learning. Tailwind was number one. And then I wrote down Stat Story, and then I wrote down Instagram TV, and then my ghost. I'll let you know what I hear back today as far as that goes.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
In my Instagram stories, I used to be able, whenever I was creating something, to like search, you know, if you want to like add something to it, you can search.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So now, whenever I search things, it just says nothing available. It's like nothing comes up anymore for me. like, you know how, like if I have a new post on Instagram, I want to put it in my story and I want to cover it with like that graphic that says new post.
Yes.
I used to be able to find that. Now I can't access any of that. I mean, I have an Android, so this probably,
I think there's a search bar.
right. But whenever I type it in, I get nothing. It says nothing available. So I'm wondering if like I need to run an update on my,
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably because y'all, my storage on you would think you just don't even want to know. I have to pay for extra storage on you just don't know. But once I paid for the extra storage on my phone, my cloud, everything is like fabulous now. So for me, it was updates. Like everything looks different. Word swag, I got stuff in there I had never seen before in my life. Like, I'm like, geez, I should have paid for that a long time ago.
So now I just figure out how to do that. My phone is a dinosaur. I've got to do something about this.
That's on your list of things that's on your vision board, is to get a new phone.
I know. It was my 12K. When I hit 12K, I was going to get my new phone.
Yes, what happened? Mother's Day is coming.
I know, I'm going to have to move it a little.
Okay. I think that's all. I have that search bar, so I can't help you with that. I think it's your dinosaur. I'm sorry. But we love you still and your dinosaur. So, all right. Let's see. Make sure and the last thing I'm going to say really quick, because I make notes every single day about things. But don't use in your hashtags, don't use the word thrive, because you're not trying to attract people that have similar things, that are doing the similar things you are. So make sure you're not using that. Same thing with the word thrive in your posts on Facebook, on, just all of those things. So you're just always alluding to what you're doing. Okay. So that's that curiosity. I hate the word attraction marketing, just because I always relate it to the spoon people with the hand over the thing and all that. But so I'm not all about that kind of stuff, but I'm not ashamed to show my products or anything like that. But I don't want to give them every detail, because they're never going to be curious. They're never going to, like, we already gave them all the stuff. So why would they ever ask me about it? That kind of thing. So
I have one more question about the hashtags. Yeah. So I'm struggling. Like, I want to do the 50 people a day. I really do. But so let's just say I put horse girl up there. Yeah. And it's very broad, of course, with that hashtag. But there's a lot of times I get in there and they're like professional riders, or it's a barn, or like, so do you know how to narrow make it for like more real people? Like, I feel like I'm getting more like businesses rather than people. So I'm really struggling, like, even with I did tennis something, I can't remember what I did. But I went through the hashtags and I clicked on almost every one of them. And a lot of them were like your professional tennis places, like courts basically, or pros trying to promote themselves in their general area, which is great. But I didn't feel like it was a person, because when you went to it, it was more about the court. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what, I've had that happen too sometimes, and you may have already tried this, but what I will do is I'll go to that person or that business or whatever, and then I will click on their followers.
Okay.
So then I will pull the real people that are interested in that from their followers. Perfect.
That's what I was missing, because I was like, how is Theresa doing this 50 people? Like, I did 10 the other day and it took me an hour. And I was like, okay, wait, now she did 50, I can do 50. And I keep looking and looking, I'm like, how do I get to the people? I need the people. Yeah. And because, I have my 5 things, but then I was like, where are the people?
Yeah. I have that problem with soccer stuff, because it's so broad, and everybody's always posting videos of a soccer drill, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't need that. But let me go see who all the people are that want to know that too, and so that's where it goes. Because you ever get a follower because I always want to know, well, where did they get me from? Where did they see it? What did they, you know what I mean? I wish I knew, because whatever it was worked, but but we don't know like which hashtag got them or which. But I will say, I noticed hashtags are life. I mean, like they really are. I mean, that is what gets your content out there. Zero question there. One more note, and then I swear I'm done this time. One of the things that I know, I just am like, anyways, it was talking about sharing your posts to your stories. I always kind of thought that was a no-no, but this person does it every time. Do y'all do that? I wasn't doing that.
No, I've never done that.
Apparently we should.
I do that, and whenever my phone would let me, I would cover my actual post with something that said new post.
Yeah.
But that way, those people that are flipping through my story, if they do like me and what I have going on, then they will click on my post.
Then they'll go to your post. I was like, okay, like I didn't think about that because I was always thinking that was different content. But apparently you should. And really in Instagram, that would only be a minimal post every day anyways. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're going to be filling your story full of reused content because you put lots of other stuff in your story too. But the little airplane at the bottom is what allows you to share to your. So that's also on my list of things today that I'm changing, is adding that to the thing. So that was really all. That's all of my notes for today. So, all right. All right. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to tell you something about tailwinds, and I'm going to download that and look it up and see like what it says. I'm curious to see what time it says that I should post. It's probably going to be completely different than I think it should. So, but anyways, thank you guys for popping on, and please keep all of the interaction going because that is a big deal. Like yesterday I couldn't figure out, and I didn't do that today. It's on my list too. I have a list every day and I don't always make it through my list, but to add my button on Linktree, because Candace messaged me and told me how to copy my thing, because I felt like my Instagram thing was so long, like I didn't understand, but anyways, I learned how to do that yesterday because it's the little things I don't know how to do. So anyways, that is it. And hopefully see you guys tomorrow. And hopefully today is going to be a good day for you. All right. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.